What's up, everyone? Jake
And Luke.
in the booth. We got round number 5 of 6. I forgot to grab their scores. I believe Way is 4-0 and Dakotah, I think, is 3-1. They have to play. Dakotah cannot draw. So this is a both players have to play this one. So we got a pretty good one here. We have, did nothing. There we go. We got Dakotah on Merfolk and Way on Boros Energy. Boros Energy, pretty staple in the format. I mean, I think everyone knows it, loves it. It's fast, consistent, and good. Dakotah on Merfolk, which I would say is a pretty big outlier in the format. Definitely not the, premier aggro deck, but one that if you know what you're doing, you've played enough fish in your life. I think everyone knows kind of how to play Merfolk.
Fish has a very devoted following.
It is, I think everyone has their local fish player, and I don't know if that's Dakotah. I've seen Dakotah play a bunch of decks, but anyways, if you are watching on Twitch, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us some of those Bezos bucks, and follow the channel. If you are watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell. There's something pretty much every single day here at MX Gaming Center. So if you like fighting games, if you like Pokemon, if you like Smash Bros, if you like, I don't know, Beyblade, I think they do Beyblade some nights.
Excellent place to get your Beyblade in.
Yeah, subscribe to the channel. And then if you like any cards you see today, check them out on impactgamingcenter.gg. There is lots of cards on the website. I'm pretty sure if you see most of these decks you like to see it on the that you see play today, buy them from the website. I'm sure they probably have them. Anyways, let's get down to the business. Dakotah out here with the start with a Rag of Man, and Dakotah with a Mind Spring Merfolk. I think that's the one.
That is the new Merfolk from the Aether Drift set.
Let's pull that one up on Scryfall.
I believe it's a 1/2 that ultimately draws you cards and put counters on your Merfolk. So exactly what you want to be doing.
Here we go. Scryfall.
Rather, it's a 1/1.
Yeah, 1-mana 1/1. It has Exhaust, which is an ability you can only activate once. It's only a one-time activation ability. You don't get multiple instances of it, but you do. It's usually most of the exhaust abilities are kind of big splashy mechanics that
you don't need more than one activation to win the game.
No, it's a pretty, it's a very strong mechanic. I don't know why we are not getting any audio from the table mic, but I think that's okay. These players aren't talking a lot anyways. Way out here with a pretty strong start of double Ocelot Pride, killing the Mindstream Merfolk, trading with the Ragavan. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Now we can hear them. They just weren't talking a lot. Here's a Tide Shaper, going to turn the Sacred Foundry into an island.
Very difficult turn 2 for Merfolk.
Difficult?
Typical, rather.
I don't play. You've played fish before.
Yeah,
I'm not a fish expert.
I'm saying definitely very difficult turn 2 play.
Is it not very consistent? I mean, I know Merfolk plays a lot of like caverns and mutavaults. Definitely not a lot of just straight blue sources, but it's got to feel pretty good when the Merfolk opponent you're able to cut off your energy opponent's white one of their white sources, which is huge.
Very powerful.
Here comes in Johnny. What do we got from Dakotah? We have a subtlety or a can't force a negation that one.
Yep, that is a creature on the front side. Yep.
Johnny gonna hit, make a kitty cat friend.
And we got 7 permanents towards the Ascend mechanic.
Yep. Gonna be the backside of Johnny.
Don't ask me.
I know it. I'm just gonna bring it up for the viewers at home. I think most people know what a Johnny does.
I think you put it. You know what the front side does.
I will blow. Yeah,
it's not bringing it up.
You gain 2. So
where are we at? There we
are. Cattle die. Yeah.
Oh, I pulled it up for you guys anyways. Alex popped in. Anyway, Johnny is a 2-mana 1/2, and it's about to make a 2/1 White Warrior cat. And then when a cat you control dies, it transforms into Johnny Nakatl Avenger. Put a counter +2. Put a counter on each cat you control. 0, make a 2/1 cat. If you control a red permanent, deal damage to any target equal to the number of creatures you control, and then you can -4. It's each opponent chooses a artifact, creature, enchantment, and a planeswalker from among the non-land permanents they control, then sacrifices the rest.
Very wordy card.
A lot of words, a lot of good words. Wade did one of the few things you almost never see in this deck, where you actually tick up the Ajani to put counters on your cats. Seems like they did a weird cat sub thing with MH3, but in no way made cat kindred more playable.
Unfortunately for all you fans at home.
Oh, sorry, we did that.
Oh, we're 19.
Yeah, I'm keeping track of the deck.
Thank you, Dakotah. Let's get this Johnny off the screen.
2 mana for a Lord, probably.
Could play at a Lord, then play at a 1-drop.
Yeah.
Problem is, you got to get your Merfolk bigger than this Ajani is going to make the cats, and Ocelot Pride has first strike, and that's going to be difficult to block.
Yeah, Johnny being flipped already is a huge pain. Energy is not one of Merfolk's favorite matchups.
No, not at all.
So this will be uphill both ways.
Let's see, there is another Tide Shaper. Going to turn the Arena of Glory into a island. Dakotah's, I guess you're trying to... Oh, and then there is another Mind Spring Merfolk. So we're going to go wide here in Dakotah. If they draw a untapped blue source next turn, or a, Lord Cavalry Souls or anything, can go double Lord, which is huge.
Yep. Getting those unblockable Merfolk hitting the opponent really does a number.
And Dakotah has a, Force Negation to hit any of the non-creature spells Wade may by using try to kill Dakotah's creatures. But it looks like we're just going to be playing out another Ajani.
Not a bad move, especially with the cat token.
So this means this Ajani is going to be putting a lot of counters on a lot of cats.
Yeah, speaking as a Merfolk player, this matchup has always been uphill ever since the introduction of MH3.
Yeah, it's
hard to go as wide as energy
yeah.
and as tall.
I mean, they put a lot of things on the battlefield fast, and Merfolk is a fair deck that specifically targets unfair decks. And Boros, while it might feel unfair, I think is a pretty fair mid-range deck. Like, it's not doing anything. It's hyper efficient in what it does, but it's not doing anything crazy.
Yeah. And we see as much swing as possible.
Let's see, we're going to double block the Ocelot Pride. We got a 4/4/3 and a 2/2, I believe.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
Kill the one that's targeting my Sacred Foundry, says Way, and Dakotah down to 4, 5, 6. I think down to 13. Yep. Way up to 22.
Yeah, those cats having lifelink sure does get you there.
Do you want cat die? No? Okay.
You want to flip the Johnny? Nah, I think he's better just as a creature. You don't want to... I don't really want to sack my Johnny that has 7 counters on it.
Yeah.
When Johnny gets to wrath the board next turn, pretty much.
Johnny can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, that card is, I think, the most pushed out of all the flip walkers. And it may just be a symptom of the deck it's in, but...
Oops, all cats.
Yeah, when you get to play all creatures that are pushed and happen to share a creature type, your Johnnies are really good. Even if Wade doesn't have a single red permanent to hit Dakotah in the face with Johnny,
Right.
it's rough. So make sure I spell Dakotah right. Dakotah. I'm good. Dakotah has an H in their name. Doing some quick math, I think. I don't know if there's a way Dakotah has, even with playing a Lord. I think they drew a Sink and a Stupor. So they could play double Lord, but I don't think that's enough to get over the wall of cats, especially when
Yeah, 23.
Wei can just down tick the Ajani, and
2 damage here, 1 damage here, and 2.
unless you the coach trying to think of an alpha strike.
Does have first strike. You're right, yeah. I think you got it. Go to
Yeah, I think we're just gonna scoop it up.
Yeah.
I guess there was a forgetting that Oslo Pride is first strike, but
Pre-sideboard definitely favoring the red-white energy player.
yeah.
Oh, no,
Let's kick it back to the booth. So read me off. What does Wei have or Dakotah have in their sideboard?
We've got some Voldemort Hex Catchers, some Sphalens, Stern Scoldings, Consigned to Memory, and Spreading Seas, of which I'd expect to see the Stern Scolding cited in.
And Wei has 2 Magebane Lizards, 2 Showdown of the Skulls, 1 Ghost Vacuum, 3 Wear and Tear, 1 Blood Moon, 1 Surgical Extraction, 3 Consigned to Memory, and 2 Orange Chant. I guess Wei does have some blue lands in the deck, but I mean, it's Boros for all intents and purposes. I ain't going to change the name on that, but let's see. Orange Chant's probably okay here, just so Dakotah couldn't like Alpha Strike and kill
Yeah.
Wei.
I'm looking.
Is Dakotah playing Aether Vials?
I sure hope so. Yes, indeed.
Yep, they're at the bottom. So maybe Wear Tear kind of feels like overkill. That doesn't really hit anything else in this deck.
Yeah, they could hit a Spreading Seas if they decide to bring Spreading Seas in,
That's true.
but that's
Probably not the way when you're. I mean, Wei's just trying to play it. It's not like he has a key land. I mean, what do you call it? Arena of Glory is great, but if you don't get Arena, it's not the end of the world.
yeah. You
this
can
matchup.
certainly play through that, especially in this matchup.
And then I
Uh,
think this is just a who beat down matchup. Who kills who first.
yeah, the Sphalens might not be a bad idea either, given that they're pretty easy to make indestructible.
That's true.
Plus, they block rather well.
I'll say because it has indestructible if you have 2 or other merfolks, 2 or more. Or
Yep.
is it 1 or more?
2 or more.
Okay. But we're seeing what the players. Looks like Dakotah is going to be in the board a little bit longer than Wei.
Yeah.
We're going to shuffle it up. Dakotah will be on the play first for this matchup, so maybe having Aether, like a turn 1 Aether Vial, can help propel Dakotah into maybe a faster aggro start, because Wei's just going to beat Dakotah down.
Yeah, if Wei goes turn 1 Cat, turn 2 Johnny, that's
I think it's the guide. It's the guide. I mean, Boros has that start where you go guide double pride, and if you don't have interaction, it just feels super bad.
I've been there today.
That's a pretty strong start from the Boros player. But we are at round 5 of 6 in our 6th round. Cut the top 8 Modern RCQ 1K. 42 players entered. I think next round we're probably going to be getting some 4 2s, 3 X's. As I imagine our top cut will draw into top 8. So we'll be seeing some.
Hopefully, our
Dream
win and end
Crushers.
matches.
Yeah, that should be the one and ends. But this is also one and end. Dakotah is the paired. Dakotah got the pair
Pair up.
and then we got the pair down. I don't know how that works for Wei with breakers. I'm not a tournament math expert, but
I think Wei's feeling pretty confident in his chances to top it.
unfortunately, yeah, Dakotah definitely has a little bit more of a rush matchup, but we're going to send it back to the battlefield. See what we get. Seven. Dakotah's got an island and
Some Merfolk looks like it's a keep.
Mindspring Merfolk. Pass the
That's
turn.
an okay turn 1.
Over to Wei.
Let's see if he has a cat.
Flood Strand. Fetch Crack. Probably going to shock in. Can't imagine you don't. Yep. Turn 1 Sacred Foundry in 2. What do we got? Guide. Or do we got Pride? Or do we got a removal spell for the Merfolk? We'll see.
My money's on Pride.
My money's on Guide. Or Monkey. Oh, there's the Pride. You're right. Untapped Dakotah draws, drew a Lord of Atlantis, and we got a Tide Shaper. Turn your land into an island.
Go ahead.
Yep, that's an island. Probably not going to put too much.
Way did draw his, I think it's like a one of Hollowed Fountain for the Eldrazi matchups, which is kind of scary when you draw it against Merfolk and you just have if they let's say Dakotah didn't have a Tide Shaper to turn the one into the way they land into an island, and get in. But here is a brand new call.
Voice of Victory.
Of Victory. Let's pull this one up.
I believe something like a 1/3.
Oh, I mistyped.
Planes.
Voice of V. Come on, Skyfall, you got this. Oh my gosh. There we go. Voice of Victory.
Mobilize 2, and your opponents can't cast spells during your turn.
Yep, Mobilize being a new mechanic from the Mardu clan from the new Turkey set. Makes 2 1/1s that when you attack come in tapped and attacking and sacrifice at the beginning of the end step. Notably for Way, since they sacrifice the end step, if you have something like Goblin Barbarian, you can
attack then sacrifice the tokens before the
which is really good. Voice of Victory is like a $20, $10 card right now. It's just $10. Probably it was $20 for a while, but that's because it was pre-release prices, and I mean it's just weird.
It's gone down and come back up. People are discovering its power.
I saw a list by DeckFaden07 on Twitter, where he had it in a twin shell with Village Bellringer.
That's not bad.
So you could Village Bellringer and you could play your twin combo without having to worry about getting interrupted.
Anyway.
But oh my gosh, Dakotah is just on the everything's an island. We got island front real estate right here. So let's see what's going to happen. Does Way have a untapped land to kill anything? Oh no.
Oops, all islands. Yeah, without an Aether Vial, this is about the best start that you can hope for.
Yeah. Way doesn't have any color spells or non-islands, but here's a Otawara, and are we going to see a Lord here?
I'd say Sphalen might be.
Sphalen would be great. Here we go. And they do have a Sphalen, but we're going to play the Lord. An Island Walk.
Very scary 3/3s that you can't block.
Nope. Not one bit being able to block.
Even with 2 Nagato Prides, we'll see if Way can...
Back in with everything 3, 6, 9,
Why not?
11?
Island Walk.
I think Island, but the one on the end doesn't get +1/+1 for having an island. It just gets it from the, we're going to go to a next game.
Yeah.
That was a beating down by Dakotah.
That was impressive.
Back to the booth. Let's see. So, Way's going to be on the play for game 3. Definitely didn't have the best start. Didn't have any interaction for the Tide Shapers. There's a sick card in Dakotah. You can see on the top there. The Drowner of... Was that Drowner? Let me see. What's the list? It's Drowner... Floodpit's Drowner?
Floodpit's Drowner.
Which is a Merfolk. It doesn't look like one, but it is a Merfolk that can... As Flash, when it ETBs, you can tap and put a stun counter on target creature. Then you can pay a blue and 1 and tap it to shuffle it and another creature that has a stun counter back in their owner's decks. It also has Vigilance, so you can attack with it and then pop it to shuffle something back in their deck.
Very unusual design.
I love it. I think it's a Dustborn House of Horrors, I think, is my second favorite set from these past few years. It is just so many cool mechanics, so many cool cards.
Right. Definitely a stable in Merfolk nowadays.
Just gonna transition back. I'm not gonna do the whole IGC thing, so let's see what we got. Way does have a Thraben Charm in hand, so definitely more interaction last time. Only a 1 of. But Way's gonna start off with the turn 1 Ragavan.
Definitely a strong start there.
Yeah.
Forcing Dakotah to choose to trade.
Go ahead.
We'll either trade. So Dakotah's gonna hold up this Stern Scolding for whatever Way plays.
We'll see if we can counter Anajani.
2. I mean, this gets totally blown out by Dakotah if for some reason Way just goes 1 drop, 1 drop. I mean, which is possible. It's very scary, but it's possible.
Yep.
Stern Scolding being a one-man counterspell counters a creature with CMC or with CMC power toughness 2 or less.
That's correct. Which, if you are keeping track at home, is almost every card, if not every card, in Way's deck.
We can check that out. Oslo Pride of Johnny, Voice of Victory, Guide of Souls, Ragavan, everything, Spiromancer, everything but
Flage?
Flage.
Yeah.
So,
Solid card to bring in.
very good card. No, but here's the one card. It cannot hit because it's not a creature. Oh, but we have a dismember for the Ragavan. Dakotah down to 16.
Definitely difficult choice
should-
waiting until after combat to play that Dismember.
Yeah.
Letting
Should be
Way get
14,
the
right?
Treasure mana.
Yeah, it should be 14.
I don't know why that.
I'm at 7.
Yeah. 17, 14 is what you had, right? Okay.
We are all good.
Passing
Pass.
back with the token.
That Goblin Shaman token is more expensive. Was more expensive than a Tarmogoyf at one point in time. There's a Merfolk. Leaving up the Stern Scolding. We're gonna get the tick up on the Fable, discarding. Let's see, discard 3 with Charm and I think a Mountain. No, Arena of Glory. Draws 2. Flooded Strand, and I think a Goblin Bombardment. Sometimes it's hard to see from the angle of what the players have. Plays the Arena, which is, it's the Arena of Glory, but it's not the Arena of Glory.
Enters untap because he controls the mountain.
But it's not a legendary land. Swing with the Goblin.
Make a treasure token. Put you 12.
And Johnny, Stern Scolding. Counter the Johnny.
Do we have a 1-drop?
We have another 2-drop, I think. Another Johnny. Oh,
Johnny
no.
followed by a Johnny.
It's going to be real rough for Dakotah to beat. No Aether Vial. Going to be rough. Draws a Svaloon. Does Dakotah have a third land for it? Gonna
Almost.
Ugh.
That hurts.
Yeah, a land, but at what cost? Nope, Harbinger of the Seas. So, which is a great card. I don't know how impactful this is going to be on a board where Way number 1 has a basic land, but number 2 is also behind on the board from a permanence
Standpoint.
standpoint. Yeah.
Plus, he's got the Goblin to make some tokens for him.
That's true. Plays a flooded island. Swing in with the tokens. Make a treasure. Go down to 5.
Not going to block that.
Nope. There's no world where you block that, I don't think. But what are we going to do? We're going to 3 mana play Showdown of the Skulls. That's an old one. Showdown of the Skulls is
The first chapter gives you some card advantage.
exile the top 4 cards of your library. You can play those cards for the next turn, and then whenever you play a spell this turn, put a counter on creature control. It's a grindy card. Kaldheim was the second time they did sagas, right? Because it was Dominaria and then Kaldheim they came back.
That sounds right.
So this is, this card's pretty powerful. It sees some Pioneer play, saw a bunch of Standard play. There's another Voice of Victory for Way. If you're Dakotah, what do you do here? I mean, you could play this Felu not to block, but the problem is this flipped Fable is going to just keep pumping out more and more tokens.
Yep.
And he has I guess the Arena of Glory is not an Arena of Glory, but play out 2 dudes.
Lord might be the better play here.
It does make all your dudes 2/2s and 3/3s, which is pretty important. But I don't know if this is going to be big enough. The problem is you can't block any of the cats because it flips the Ajani. And then when the Ajani flips,
You just lose the
you
game.
lose the game. It's a lose-lose situation.
We'll see what Wei decides to do here. Very tricky board state.
Yeah, we can do a lot of things, and I think a lot of the scary things include making copies of stuff like Voice of Victory with the Fable. So that makes, I mean, you can't Arena of Glory. I guess Way only has realistically one spell he can cast this turn and one activation of the Mirror Breaker.
So he's got tokens. This might be a wait and see moment.
Yeah. I think Dakotah, if Dakotah has a chance, it's not taking lethal from the cats.
Mm.
I mean, this is like theoretical scenario. Not taking lethal from the cats. Here's the Johnny. Oh, we're just gonna flip the Johnny anyways. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
So, playing a Johnny.
Got a cat token, flip the Johnny, do the it dying from
I think
the
you just-
Legends rule.
Yeah, I think Dakotah's just dead no matter what right here.
We'll see.
Ledger rule. Dakotah or Way should have made a cat token when he played the Johnny.
He is making the cat token.
Yeah. There. We haven't activated the Johnny yet. I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, if you make the cat token, you just hit him in the face, right?
Yeah.
I think we did miss making a cat token here, though. We're going to copy.
Is that a copy of the Goblin?
Yes, I believe so.
That's going to net him another treasure token.
Is your target you? And there's the fist bump.
Gets it off the Johnny.
Dang, that was a rough one for Dakotah. But thanks everyone for watching. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna see if Way wants to come in the booth and talk about Boros Energy a bit. I know he's a very good Boros Energy player. Seen him many times here at Impact playing Boros Energy. We are on round 5 of 6. Next will be our last round, and then we'll have our cut to top 8. Thank you everyone for watching. If you are watching on Twitch, make sure you follow the channel, subscribe, give us some of those Bezos bucks. And then if you're watching on YouTube, you should like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell following the channel. If you liked any of the cards you see today, you can pick them up on impactgamingcenter.gg. You can pick up anything in Impact pretty much from singles for most modern decks. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Don't go anywhere. If you're watching on YouTube, this is Jake.
I'm Luke.
Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next one. See ya.